I mean, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So right around that time, 25, 26, right? I was like, all right, I left Highbridge, I got fired, boom. I was like, I'm gonna do my independent contracting jobs and just build my business. You feel me? 'Cause I gotta start now. Like, I can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm doing nonprofit, but like, you know what I mean? I gotta get to the bag, so it's nonprofit shit ain't really doing it. But I just to show you, like, I ain't really somebody that's out here chasing money like that, even though I needed to. You feel me? It was more about the mission, the purpose of me, giving back to my community even when I was broke. You feel me? I'm giving back to my community broke, fam. Working part-time, making $200 a week, making sure I give back to the hood. Like, imagine if I had money. So, boom, right? So, boom, right around that time, 2015 now. Same time I was going to school for entertainment management. 2014, 2015, I was going to school for entertainment management, Institute of Audio Research. I was there for 9 months, right? Crazy shit about when I was there was it cost $11,000 to go to that school. So I had gotten because of my job in Harlem RBI, I had gotten a education grant for $1,000 that I used as a down payment to get into a school, and I was supposed to make payments for the $1,000 a month until I graduated, right? And I ain't paid them a dime after I paid that down payment, right? People was getting kicked out of the school left and right, but because they seen how much I was grinding, like my third day in school, I started a petition at the school to start a record label. I'm like, how y'all got a school full of people in school for entertainment management? Y'all got a school full of audio producers and engineers, people that's artists, and y'all don't got no label. Like, you know how much talent y'all could be pushing out of this school? So I started a whole petition. Even some of the teachers was jealous. A lot of the teachers was like working in the industry, and they was tight that they didn't come up with the idea first. So I'm talking about within a week of being in the school, fam, 2 weeks, I sat down with the president of the school, the dean of students, and the chairman of the school. And a lot of these people was people that was working in the industry 40 years, 30 years, 20 years in the music business, working with Warner, working with Island Records, working with, you feel me? So this is where I made a lot of my industry connects. So there's a lot of people in the industry who know me for business. They have no clue that I rap. They know me for some business shit, like, you feel me? How I really give it up, crazy like that. So my professors was like working at Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, or they was managing marketing for Rockefeller, Def Jam, DMX albums, Jay-Z albums. These are my professors, like, feel me? They got Rockwaller coming to class, and we got executives from Atlantic coming to class, like all type of people that used to work for these companies. And they was going back on the phone like, yo, there's a dude in here named Jamaica that's going crazy, like, you feel me? So while I'm putting on at the school, I was putting on so crazy, people was getting kicked out because they not paying. I wasn't paying, and they let me stay, fam. Because they're like, yo, we can't kick him out. It's like, yo, if anybody supposed to be here, it's him. So, feel me? They really, like, I didn't pay the other 8 months. I didn't pay a dime. People was getting kicked out, and they let me stay, fam, just off the strength that they see how I was working, bro. Feel me? While I'm there, all that Jersey shit popped off right in front of their face. So they see me grinding on some entertainment shit, trying to start a label with everybody in the school. Same time the jerseys pop off. So they like, yo, he's really on it. You feel me? So this is how I got my reputation up on some business shit. Not even on no music shit. This is my business shit. And then the jerseys popped on some fashion shit. You see what I'm saying? So this is how my reputation is getting built. And this is all still 2015. This is all still 2015, bro. Right? So now, just to show y'all, like, this is why a lot of people in the industry, they know who I am. I was in Grammy U Recording Academy, you feel me? While I'm walking into certain rooms with all type of engineers, Rock Nation, songwriters, and all type of, I mean, I'm not even going to keep name dropping, but names that people in the industry know, like, you feel me? I was at all these Grammy U events. Like, I got to see inside scoop into what the industry is with my own eyes, you feel me? I got to see that shit, like, so, boom, right? So then, I was like, alright, that whole era was finished. But while I was there, I learned so much about the music business. This is when streaming had first started, like, really getting crazy. Tidal first launched. So I really got to get an inside look into, like, how the business is run. Like, this is when I learned about Harry Fox and mechanical versus publishing, and, you see what I'm saying, streaming royalties and all of that shit. Like, I got an inside, in-depth knowledge into this shit. You feel me? Like, to the point where I realized the music business is a flawed business, and it's a waste to even try to build some shit on top of that shit, because it's totally flawed. The whole streaming service shit, they robbing people across the board. They robbing the customers, they robbing the advertisers, they robbing the artists. You feel me? So I seen the whole shit, and I'm like, nah, this music business shit is not it. So that's when I made the pivot from, you feel me? And just to keep it a band, I'm watching the game at the same time. Like, all right, this streaming shit isn't it, because they robbing people. They robbing everyone involved. So I'm like, this streaming business shit ain't it. So I'm like, all right. Same time, I had a web development class. My professor designed a yellow AOL sign back in the day, you feel me? So I'm like, boom. So we in class for web development. And mind you, like, I ain't on no computer shit, no coding, no nothing, bro, at the time. Like, we had to get one of the white girls in the class to do our homework for us, like, and submit our, I mean, it was like that. Nobody was trying to do that shit. And then one day, Professor, shout out to Vic, feel me? Professor was like, yo, listen, this is the way the world is going, technology. So if you don't learn it now, you're going to have to learn it later, or you're going to be way behind. You're going to be playing catch up. You're going to be on the outside. And we like, yo, Vic, we here for entertainment management, like music business. We ain't here to be learning the web development. Long story short, that's 2015. I mean, they let me graduate and shit. They actually kicked me out in May. I went to Miami for the Mayweather fight. It was Pacquiao, South Beach, with the homie, you know what I mean? And I came back, and they told me, yo, we gonna let you finish. That's how real it is. They kicked me out and told me I could come back and finish. That's how official, you feel me? My business acumen is when it comes to my reputation on that end, you feel me? So boom, finished that. Then like, now I'm back at home. I mean, I'm doing Postmates and shit like that, just like, I mean, just making some bread, working on my own time, because I kept getting fired from my last 4 jobs. I'm like, clearly I'm not meant to have a boss. Even though every job that fired me told me I could come back, but if I keep getting fired, it's for a reason, right? So I'm like, all right, working Postmates, doing deliveries and shit, while I'm building my, I mean, just trying to figure out what I'm doing next. So I came up with an idea back in the day to do like a song battle platform, because I realized like some of the dopest moments in hip-hop was based around the times that people battle. Like, you see the Nas versus Jay, or, you know what I mean, 50 versus whoever, or, you know what I mean, all these battle moments is the most exciting times in hip-hop. So I was like, yo, if we had a platform, you know what I mean, not only where, not really just about song battles, but it's more about rating hip-hop songs. Like, so if somebody dropped a track, like, you would rate like the flow or the delivery, or I mean, whatever, and you would have stats, like some 2K shit, but for hip hop. So that was the idea, you feel me? And then people would put out songs and they would compete with each other, like Kendrick and J. Cole would put out a song on the same day and people would rate it. You know what I mean? So that was the concept. So that was 26, that was like 2014 I came up with that idea, maybe around 2013. I just never worked on it. Then once let me put everything down, I was like, I made up my mind, like, all right, this is what we work on. Because once my professor told me, yo, this technology shit is where shit is going, 2015, like a year later, I just had an epiphany one day, like, yo, fam. I'm like, yo, Vic is right, fam. And I started looking at the game, and I'm like, yo, right, this is really what happened, fam. I'm looking at the game, and I'm like, yo, I see people like Diddy, people like Jay, Dr. Dre. This was like 2016 and shit. Right? And I'm like, yo, these dudes is approaching 50 and they haven't cracked $1 billion yet. It's like they bosses is like breadcrumbing them. Like, we're not gonna make none of y'all hit $1 billion till y'all 50 type shit. Right? But at the same time, after I just studied this web development class, I started looking into Silicon Valley and all this other shit, startup world. And I'm like, yo, wait a minute. This nigga Mark Zuckerberg is worth $7 billion at 24. So right there, I was at a fork in the road, like, wait a minute. 7 billion at 24, or breadcrumbs to hit $1 billion until I'm 50. And I'm looking like, I'm playing the wrong game. I need to figure out what this Zuckerberg motherfucker figured out. So let me get into this startup web world, because if I could be worth 7 billion at 24, who gives a fuck what I make off music? I'll just be rich off my business, and I'll just put out my music for free. Right? So that was my path that I chose when I was 24. 25, 26. Like, you know what? After going to school for music business and seeing what it was, I realized this shit ain't it. Until new technology come around or until laws is really put in place to favor artists, like this music business, it's like building on top of a cesspool. Why the fuck would I build a label in that type of environment? That's retarded. It's just more people robbing everybody. Like, no, you feel me? I'm not about that. So I'm like, I bet. I'm gonna go to the startup world. And I just started Googling shit, like, feel me? Like, same way you learn how to make crack, you learn how to cook crack. You don't just start and learn how to, you learn how to do this shit, you feel me? I'm not afraid to learn shit. Like, I'm not one of these black people that's scared to be smart. Like, it's one of the dumbest shit in the world in our black culture. We one of the only fucking cultures where being smart is looked at like a bad thing. Like, how stupid is that, us as a people? How dumb are we as a people where being smart is a bad thing? That's the epitome of being stupid. That's why we in the position we are as a culture. Because we look at smart as being a bad thing. We the only fucking culture in the world that looks at shit like that. That's why everybody else rape our culture, nigga. Only fucking bozos in the world who think being smart is a bad thing. And wonder why we don't own shit. I'm not saying nobody owns shit, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, you understand? So, I'm not one of them people. I'm like, yo, whatever these people, listen, I'm not a racist at all. My business partners are all people from Europe, white people. White people helped me out more than black people when I was struggling with homeless and shit, so I ain't racist at all, feel? But we say we don't, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than the color of his eyes. Like, Emperor Haile Selassie's speech, Bob Marley's song, War, like, we really about that. Like, I ain't on no racist shit at all. You feel me? Like I said, white people looked out for me more than black people did, man. Real talk. So, boom, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna figure out what this Zuckerberg dude figured out. Cause if I could build a business that's worth $7 billion when I'm 24 or whatever, I don't care what I make off music. I'd rather make money off business, use that to impact my culture, and then people find out later on, and I just keep making music at my own time. I'm like, people will catch on that I'm one of the greatest businessmen coming out of black culture ever, which I am, and they will go back and realize that I'm one of the greatest rappers when they find my catalog once I pop off the business. That was my path, you feel me? So that whole music business shit, didn't want to do it lately. You see what I'm saying? So, boom, that's where I started my journey with this whole tech shit. So now I had, like I said, the whole rap game idea. That was something I was working on. I started working on that shit like 2016, right? Long story short, well, it's gonna keep, I'm not gonna be short, but I'm saying like, okay, boom, right? So I'm living in a house in Brooklyn. Mad people in the house was talking about blockchain shit. Man, what the fuck is this, whatever. Before we get there, right? This was 2017. I'm still working on this shit. I'm doing deliveries, Postmates, boom, 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 all that good shit. And then I'm looking for an investor, right? And just show you, what I'm about to tell you is the epitome of the type of person I am, right? Like, this is what I'm about to tell you. It just defines my place in the culture, right? So I'm doing my deliveries every day. And when I get off work, I go to the trap and chill with my boys. Everybody, you know what I'm talking about. You in the hood, you know what I'm talking about. Every day I'm in the trap. I'm doing my deliveries. When I'm not doing my deliveries, I'm in the trap, smoking. Watching the game with the bros. Like, that's how it was at the time. You feel me? So everybody in there doing what they do, and I'm working on my app. Like, I'm on my, on my phone, doing what I gotta do. Like, I'm not coding. I don't know how to code and stuff like that. But I'm like just researching or coming up, writing down a business plan and whatever while I'm in the trap with everybody. Like, that's literally who I am. Like, I'm in the trap, chilling with all my boys who's trapping, but I'm working on my business plan while we all in the trap. You see what I'm saying? So boom. So now I'm just being around there. There's people with money coming in and out of there. So one of the people that was there, I'm like, yo, fam, like, I know you know people that got a big bag. Like, you don't know nobody that would invest in an idea like this? Some shit I'm working on. Long story short, like, who gets an investment offer from being in a trap, fam? Like, really understand that. Who gets an investment offer for an application from being in a trap? When I say that, I told dude, boom. He's like, yo, you got like a business plan? Of course I had a business plan. I had a whole portfolio like this with the whole app. I use like Microsoft Word and just like images like squares, circles, and I created like what the web page would look like. No code, no nothing, just like putting my mind to work, fam. Boom. Sent him like a 30-page business plan with the mock-up of the app and everything. While I'm in the trap, this is a dude that I'm in the trap with every day. He go talk to people he know. Next thing you know, he come back with a $250,000 offer. You heard what I just said? 2017, bro. I got a $250,000 offer for 40% of my business for Rap Game. I'll say that again. In 2017, I got an offer for $250,000 for 40% of my app, bro. From a business plan. No product. So, just by being in the trap every day, dog. And there's people that can vouch for this. So, just look at that. Who gets a $250,000 business offer from being in the trap, building a business plan every day? Like, that's why I say that. Like, that's the epitome of who I am. Man. I get building a fucking app without no code and no nothing. I just a business plan and a marketing plan and how the shit should look, how to market it. And because of my, you know what I mean, relationships of being in the trap, I get a $250,000 offer for 40% of my shit. But I turned it down. Right? So this ain't, I turned down a $250,000 at, what age was that? 2017, I was 27, 28. Turned down a $250,000, boy. Why? Because my intuition and my gut said, don't do it. Told my pops, like, yo, Dad, what you think? Boom, 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 boom. He was like, yo. And again, my parents don't even tell me what to do. My dad was like, yo, your call. You feel me? That's why I love my parents. My parents never told me what to do in my life. Imagine some random motherfuckers telling me what to do. My own parents never told me what the fuck to do. You see what I'm saying? Pops was like, yo, your call. And I'm like, yo, damn, my peoples need the money. You know what I mean? My sisters was just in they lost their house in the hurricane and the islands and all this other shit. I'm like, damn, people could use the money, But my gut was like, don't take it. Because I didn't trust just the, you know what I mean? Like 40% for what? Like, I just didn't trust it. I'm like, damn, like, number one, 40% was too much. I was like, how am I going to do it? Like, there's not enough wiggle room with 40%, you feel me? So I'm like, passed on it, boy. And continued doing deliveries, dog. Just because it didn't feel right in my gut instinct. Man. That's what I follow at all times. Fuck what anybody say, boy. Fuck what anybody say. Once my gut instinct tell me no, it's a no. Period. So I'm like, yo, nah, passed on it. Right? It's 2017. Kept working. Long story short, 2018, I spent another year in the hood. I'm like, yo, something gotta give. I'm living in Brooklyn. Met a girl from Amsterdam. She told me about Amsterdam. Amsterdam is lit. Same time I found out about blockchain. I'm like, fuck it, boy. I bet my whole fucking life. Man. I went to Europe with $20. I booked 5 nights in Amsterdam. Well, it wasn't even Amsterdam. It was like Nijmegen, which is like a whole nother part of the country. Spent 5 nights. I booked 5 nights Airbnb. I went out there. I got off the plane with $20, boy. 20 euros, whatever. One-way ticket. No way back. No help. No nothing. And I turned 5 nights into a year and a half in Amsterdam, dog. My visa was 4 months. I said, fuck it. Figure this shit out. Whole time I'm trying to build my business. So I'm saying, meeting, going to networking events. Mind you, I'm talking about sleeping in a park, waking up, going to the library, washing myself off, making sure I'm presentable, go to these business meetings and people can't even tell I'm homeless. Women draped over me, like I'm the best dressed person in a fucking networking event, and I was just sleeping in a sleeping bag in a park type, like, what? Like, this is the type of dude I am when it comes to, like, and that's just one story. Like, this was happening for a year and a half, man. Like, wait till y'all hear the stories of my whole Amsterdam trip. It's bananas. So, you see what I'm saying? And I'm doing all of that to build this business. I just rolled the dice on myself because I'm like, yo, this is the way to go. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, this is still 2018. This is before 2020, everything. So long story short, I'm in Amsterdam, meeting connections out there. I'm connecting distribution companies that distribute reggae here, VP Records. I'm connecting them with reggae record labels in Europe who got 30 years worth of reggae music. And I'm creating distribution deals. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what I do. This is when I'm homeless and broke and I'm doing shit like this. You see what I'm saying? Building my business. Finished my album while I was out there. Went to school for audio engineering. Electronic music production for 4 months at SAE. Again, I went Didn't pay shit. I was supposed to pay $500 a month. I told the guy I was gonna pay, never paid. Finished the whole program, finished my album, got free studio time, got up out of there. Long story short, they kicked me out the country, but they told me I could come back, but they sent me back to the States. 2019, December 20th, they sent me back. Nice, like, yo, Netherlands, y'all are amazing people, fam. These motherfuckers, like, y'all are amazing people, real talk. Like, they took care of me. It's like, yo, we gonna get you back in time for Christmas. They paid for my flight. The king was my pilot. The king of the country was my pilot. Like, just look what my life is showing. The king of the country was my pilot on my flight back from Amsterdam to New York. He owns the airline. Like, official. I fuck with that. I'ma fly. I'm the king of the country. I'm gonna fly people in and out of my country. To me, that's fly. You feel me? Like, so this is like, all of this is 2018, 2019, fam. So boom, I get sent back to America, 2019, January. Boom. 20th, I spent, caught up with the fam and shit like that. Then I got up out of my crib. Like, I'm not staying at home. I was just out of there for a year and a half. I was like, fuck it. Instead of being my mom, I'd rather be homeless. Now I'm just homeless in New York City, bro. January, trying to figure this shit out. People that I know from Europe sending me bread. Women I met from out there sending me bread so I can hold myself down. Boom. Long story short, this is right after Kobe passed. A week later, my sister's birthday. My whole family linked up in Miami. Boom, we in Miami rocking out as a fam. Boom, I went to Jamaica for a month. No money again. Y'all just told me, yo, Kingston, make the move. I went out there for a month by myself, moving around Jamaica, Dolly, Kingston, Montego Bay, boom, 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 boom. You understand? All of this. Spent a month out there, made some connections business-wise and just links, just on some regular links and some far ride moves and all type of business, you feel me? Came back. The next day I came back from Jamaica, COVID shut down. Boom! Right in Miami. Now I'm stuck in Miami. You see what I'm saying? And then, still music.